All right, so hey y'all, it's Sunday. It is February 19th, 2017. And I know I'm wearing the same shirt I had on yesterday, honey, but I got to wash in the dryer. Okay. So, my sister is on Facebook. She's doing research on our family tree. And so, my paternal grandpa, when I was a young girl in undergrad and before then in high school, my grandpa, my paternal grandpa, was giving me all the family history on his folks. And so, come to find out from my wonderful baby sister, because back then people didn't spell, they couldn't read, blacks, and most poor folks, because there was no real formalized education for the majority, even though, education, formal public education is over 100 years old now, about. But anyway, come to find out, some of the names that I had been given were wrong or misspelled, or middle name put in the position of the first name, and all kinds of stuff like that. So my baby sister is doing the research now through Ancestry.com and, different stuff like that. And so she's getting the real scoop. But, it's amazing because she's finding out stuff, and then she's asking my mom, and my mom's like, yeah, right. And it's like, but why didn't you tell us this? So she's finding some scandals, and it's like, OMG. Ooh. I mean, not nothing like to be ashamed of, but things that are rocking, that really, the one that she discovered rocked my world, because I'm like, what? I never would have imagined, even though there were like physical signs that, you just don't question when you're a child. So anyway, oh man, you gotta love your family. Even if you're not with them, you don't see them every day or whatever. Because I don't see my people every day. We communicate via internet a lot. Some of us text. I don't text too much. I really don't have time to talk on the phone. So we connect the best that we can. Because I'm way out in orbit, and everybody else is like orbiting their world's orbit, and I'm way out in orbit. I'm still attached, but my life path is just taking me different, so I have to keep in touch and stuff, and learning this about the family, and it's interesting. I have a very interesting family, and I'm very proud of my family. I'm very proud of what I do know about my maternal grandfather and grandmother, and how I observed their lives from the point of view of a young person and a teenager and a young adult. And I saw their work ethic, and I saw them build their family. Those characteristics of them I appreciate and I love in my great grandmother, and even my paternal grandparents. They had qualities that were admirable, and for the times that they lived in and everything. My grandpa being a war veteran and military and all of that, and at a time when the military was segregated, and my grandfather had to endure that racial injustices and being mistreated just because we're black. And we know that black folks don't like black folks because we're black, and they say we're ugly and all those kinds of things. It's really disheartening, that aspect of living as an undesirable from major society, you know. But he overcame that. He overcame it. And even though he did have he was tough. He had a tough shell that I saw. Maybe the younger kids saw something different because probably by that time he was starting to mellow. But when I was young, he was tough. And it was because he told us about the injustices that he endured. Even as a serviceman with his uniform on, the injustices that he endured. And it was just, it's unfair. It's unfair. So, digging in our family tree, what kind of nuts are falling out? Whoa! Some nuts are falling out, y'all. Scandals and all kinds of interesting stuff. But I have a beautiful family. My biological grandfather, just a beautiful man. I mean, he was a player. He was a player. And when I was young, he would send me pictures and say, do not date these kinds of men. Don't date men like he was. He would dress to the nines, and he was a womanizer. And he loved to wear, in the pictures I saw him in Stacey Adams all the time. And what did my late husband wear? Stacey Adams. He had a little player side to him too. But he wasn't all, he was a player. He had that. Mm-hmm. But I didn't end up marrying a man like my grandpa, but except for Stacey Adams. And they love women. But I don't know, why am I telling y'all this? I should be talking about tips on how to write and how to get your papers together, but I don't know. I guess I just wanted to share it. Yeah. So go look up your family tree. Now, I was watching a video last night actually, and I think I fell asleep on no, I did not. I was busy doing some other things. So you know how you listen as you're busy. I was multitasking. And it was mentioned, someone had asked a question about the DNA testing and how a certain group of people are over the data banks, you know, the birth records and death records, life records, data banks. And what was the real agenda behind this new DNA testing? Were there nefarious, agendas behind it, collecting of people's DNA for other reasons besides identifying your backgrounds, and so the gentlemen who were presenting, they said, they would avoid submitting their DNA because you really do not know the true agenda behind these organizations that are in charge of these data banks. And even though you really can't trust if the information you're getting is accurate either. A lot of people say, oh, I thought I was Native American, blah, blah, blah. And then they come back and it says that you're not Native American, but Native American, and something about the Native American DNA strands or RNA or however they differentiate them. They're similar to the Asiatic DNA strands or whatever. I don't know, but so if you haven't done it, don't do it. I mean, because you're going in a data bank somewhere, and then you don't know what they could be using your stored. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but one of the gentlemen said, oh, they could be using it to run different tests to see, what was it called, biological weapons. Another one said cloning, and it sounds really far-fetched, but we're in the 21st century, and a lot of things that were unimaginable in the 18th, 19th, and 20th century are imaginable now. And so it may, it may not be as far-fetched as it seems. So, yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to call this video, but it's me always having a cautionary tale for precaution, yeah. But oh well, let me see what other scandals my sister has come across on this. And see, I asked her, I said, how accurate is this information that we're getting? What if this information is wrong and it's just going to stir some crap in our family? And if your families are already emotionally unstable, on edge, ready to fight anyway, stuff like this could just push your family into more family feuding. So I don't know. It's just, you want to know your history. You want to know, but then are you ready to handle what's unveiled? Are you ready? Okay, bye.